Okay, welcome to the next tutorial for Diagnostics 3.0. This particular tutorial is looking at the 5-axis diagnosis builder for the program. First thing you'll notice is a very similar layout. If you've had Diagnostics 2.0 or 2.5, you've seen this before. There's some new features in 3.0, which makes it a little more user-friendly and adds some of the features in that you've been asking for. First thing you'll notice is in Axis 1 and 2, or these tabs appear for getting the information from this section over to this section. Axis 1 and 2 are the disorders that you've marked. So as you've done investigating of diagnoses and criteria or the decision trees, and you've marked diagnoses based upon researching things in there, you now have access to them here. This is not a list of all the diagnoses in the whole program, only the ones you've marked. So you really need to start in criteria, decision tree, or visual tree to determine what diagnoses you're going to make in the 5-axis diagnosis. So these are the ones we've marked. Some of them have been from some of the exercises we've been going through, including the dissociative disorders and the like. Let's say I determine that this client has a generalized anxiety disorder. You notice that this disorder is present because I've marked it already. And let's say also that they have an obsessive compulsive personality disorder. So if I click on the green button, you'll notice it gets updated here in the Axis 1. So it writes in the Axis 1 disorder for you. And then also, if I determine that they have obsessive compulsive personality disorder, if I put that in, notice it puts it in Axis 2. It knows what diagnoses go in which axis, whether it's 1 or 2. You notice also that there's buttons here for no diagnosis on axis 1 or 2, deferring the diagnosis on axis 1 or 2, and then also resetting all axes or just axis 1 and 2. So if I wanted to reset axis 2, I could click reset axis 2 and it deletes that. I can also reset all and it clears it out back to where it was before. So let me go back in and put those diagnoses in. And let's say the obsessive compulsive personality disorder, I think they may have it, but I'm still considering it. So I need to rule it out. So that's what this blue R is for. So if I click on the blue R for obsessive compulsive personality disorder, it writes that in for me. Rule out obsessive compulsive personality disorder. Okay, so that's for axis 1 and 2. Axis 3 allows you to type in if there's any medical conditions and then set that into the axis. So let's say I've found out they have hyperthyroidism and I've typed that in already. Set axis 3 and it includes it for the axis 3. I can reset axis 3 or I can reset all. Same thing as on axis 1 and 2. Axis 4 includes all the psychosocial stressor categories, and then I can put in information up here based upon this reference. So I type this information in. Let's say this is the information I want. It's not. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But let's go ahead and, well, it makes some sense, but let's pretend like that's the deal for their axis 4, their psychosocial stressors. I click set axis 4 and it includes that. And last but not least is the global assessment of functioning, the GAF score for current and the highest GAF in the past year, plus the reference for all of those scores. You can see that here. Again, so it's all in the program. You don't have to look it up in any reference books. And if I set that, let's say those are the numbers I'm looking at, I can put that in. Okay, so you've now just basically built 5-axis diagnosis. Now, a feature that I added to this for you is an edit feature. You can't edit any of these in the original program, so I included an edit tab. Now I can go in and type things in here if I want to add things or remove things or put in special notations. I can include that. And when I come back to the 5-axis diagnosis, that will include your update that you did in the edit. So it's user developed as well as software developed, and it's a combination of the two. So once I create that, I can copy it, and then I can paste it into other parts of the program, like prog notes. Kind of cool. Or I can paste it into other software programs like word processors and emails and whatever else you're going to be doing with it. Oh, you can also print this out to a printer or to a PDF file if you have a cute PDF look at the ProgNotes training video on ProgNotes, and we talk about CutePDF a little bit more in there. It's a way to print to a PDF file to make electronic copies of your forms. And that's it.